We are back. It has been a crazy, adventurous weekend. The whole weekend, like every day we had something happen or go on. Like Friday, lost the trailer. Safety chains work though. Apparently I coupled it above the ball. I slammed it down and yeah. So what, 20 miles out of Mitchell?
20 miles down the road.
Yeah, going 80 down the interstate. Hit a bridge. We felt it go pop or something. It's like, what the heck happened? I'm looking at the mirrors, the trailer's still there. Looking at the tires, everything's fine. Go to switch lanes, and the trailer just starts going back and forth. It's like, oh, okay. So we pull over and start slowing down. Sparks just flying everywhere. Yeah. So that happened Friday. Got it back on. Obviously, it's still back there. No product shifted. Ariana asked, you know, what about the stuff inside? Go in there. I think a couple medium bags fell over. That's it. So that wasn't bad. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse, but hey, safety chains work on the trailer, so we found that out. Then still Friday night, we're getting into Billings, and accident. We just missed a rollover. That happened. Then traffic was backed up on eastbound traffic. We're heading west. And then we were getting bound up.
Yep.
And we try to check into our Airbnb, and we have a message saying, hey, don't know if you've seen the news, but Billings is flooded. Okay.
This gets better.
Yeah.
It gets much better.
We get there, and it start going through town, and there's standing water in the field, standing water on the road, in the ditches. Just ridiculous. Apparently they got 2 inches by the time we got there, another inch as we were there, you know, overnight and stuff like that.
But they're so flat.
Yeah, it is.
The water doesn't have anywhere to go.
Nowhere. I don't even know where it was going. But we get to our Airbnb, and the whole cul-de-sac is a pond with flowing water going out between these houses. It's flooded. Yeah. Like the bottom of the trailer floor was probably yay far from being in the water. And yeah, that was crazy. And then Brad comes up in his Hellcat just plowing water just going through it. Pulls up to the garage because the house was elevated, so we pulled it in the garage and we parked in there. But it was just like, wow. And then Saturday we got stuck because it was so wet. My turning radius, I knew I could make this turn, but it was so clayey and just slick. Went to turn, and the truck just started going downhill. It's like, we can't back up because we got the trailer. We can't go forward because we can't turn. We're just going out into this field.
Just going further down into the
oh gosh.
3 tow ropes tied together.
3 tow ropes and several volunteers of people to pull us out. But it's just getting in the right position. Darren came over. He ended up getting kind of stuck for a little bit.
Yeah.
He got himself out. So then we got more tow ropes and had a little Land Cruiser come over. And he just hooked up to the front of that and back straight up. And
he was on solid ground.
He was on solid ground. 3 tow ropes later, you know, and so got us out there. So that was a little embarrassing, but at the same time, God, we were just screwed. And then what, today? What was the crazy thing that happened today? Oh, that storm.
Storm,
yeah.
Storm, couldn't see more than 2 vehicle lengths in front of me. That was crazy. It was fine and sunny, and then it was literally can't see. She was in the back seat freaking out because we're going 80 down the interstate, and then all of a sudden it's just whiteout conditions basically of just rain. And then slowed down quite a bit. There was probably what, 8 cars on the side of the road with their hazards on, and just waiting for the storm.
Making it actually more unsafe by parking on the side.
Yeah. Because you literally couldn't see them until you were there, so at least they pulled off, but still, holy cow. And went through that, what, it took us 5 minutes of white knuckling.
Not very long.
Yeah, not even.
See nothing.
Yeah. Of just, all right, let's stay at a 55, 60 or something like that, and go. And so yeah, that was today, and seen some lightning and stuff like that. That was about it.
That was pretty cool seeing that double lightning.
Yeah, on each side
of the interstate at the same time, just bang.
That was cool. Yeah, so that was the adventurous part. We did do some shooting also. You know, that was the main reason, not all these adventures. So Friday we went and we didn't sight in like we wanted to. We got there early enough to sight in, but it was raining pretty good. So we didn't want to get our guns out, get them wet, have to clean them off, none of that. We trusted our zeros from back home, so that should have been fine.
We got to Saturday morning though, do a quick check.
Yeah, and we were watching the weather for Saturday morning. Hopefully it was going to clear up to where we could at least just go shoot real quick in the morning just to check, you know, because it's not like we were trying to gather data or anything like that. It was just, where's my zero? Where's zero good? All right, cool. Just confidence.
Confirmation.
Yeah,
that's all
there
it
you
was.
go. Yep. Yeah, so that was Saturday morning, and then it was a great course of fire. I thought it was a great course of fire. After, we'll get into the stages. I know that's what you guys are wanting. You guys told me in the trailer. I appreciate that. But after stage 2 or 3, Mark Pulver and I were like, this course of fire is already better than Texas down at the PRS 22 championship. Just the way it was going, you were shooting this way. When you had wind at your back and you couldn't quite figure it out because it was 5:30, it was 6:30, it was just being dumb. And then you slowly panned over here to where your wind was at an 8:30 to 9:30 type of deal is what we were getting. But the course of fire, it was your not typical troop line 2, 2, 2, 2, you know, near to far, far to near, whatever. It was 3 shots on this one, 2 on this one, move over here, another one over here, and just move over to there. Now you're doing 3 shots, 3 shots.
3 shots center, 2 shots hard right, 1 shot hard left.
Yeah. It wasn't just your typical
at different ranges.
Yeah. Yeah. And then different positions. Oh, yeah, it was fun. But you got the matchbook, honey?
I do.
Let's just start on stage 1, because you guys started on stage 2, I started on stage 1. That was because of the way we were ranked at this was the championship, so the way you were ranked was how you were squatted, so I was in squad 1, and these guys were in squad 2. So let's just start on stage 1.
Stage 1?
Yeah.
Stage 1 was a mover.
Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, a mover that didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yep. So my squad, we got there, and it's a DM mover, and it's been raining, no solar power, no, it's been horrible. And they're like, oh, it's moving at 1 mile per hour. I'm like, I have one of these at home, and it's a 1.5 lead. This would be edge of plate of how slow it was moving. So we're just all watching it, you know, everybody's excited. This is stage 1, let's go. First stage of the championship, how's it gonna be? And we're all glassing it, and it just stops.
Just stop moving.
Before we could even go live, you know, it wasn't even, the range is hot, nothing. It was just, it just stopped, and it's like, well, shoot. Do you replace the battery? You just unplug it and make it the same for everybody, because we can't shoot it and then all of a sudden it kicks on later when the sun comes out type of deal, you know, so at least unplug it. So that's what they ended up doing. But what was that, like top, bottom type of deal?
So this was a 13 round stage. The first 6 shots were supposed to be at the mover, and you had to go top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. And then you had to move positions to a fence rail and shoot 2 shots at one target and then 2 shots at a different target, and then you had to go back down to where you shot the mover from and engage a target that was pretty far out there.
Yeah, so you were shooting from prone at the mover, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, but that became a stationary target, so I think I cleaned that. But then you had to run up on this
on a fence.
It's like a
crossbar type of deal or whatever, or railing.
Like
it was a railing for the stairs, but a big post. And no one could find that target. whatever target that was.
The C and the D?
Yeah.
On the hillside?
That was a tough one for our
You
squad.
couldn't find them?
We couldn't.
Oh,
Well,
those
we
are-
found them, but we couldn't hit them.
Oh, okay. You found the target, but you couldn't hit them. Okay.
They all had placards. We found them.
I was gonna say, what do you mean? You couldn't
We
find
couldn't hit the targets. Like, everybody, we were lucky to squeak out a 1 out of those 4 shots.
Really?
It was, we were struggling with that. But then when we ran back down and shot the far one, we were able to get those impacts.
Since that was the last stage that we shot, I wonder if squad 2. I wonder if the light was different or what, because those were fine. Wind might have died, something.
I don't know.
Something, yeah. We were fine on C and D.
Yep.
Yeah, we couldn't. Nothing.
Yeah, they had that labeled weird. The order was A, C, D, B.
Yep.
Yep.
Whereas the rest of everything else pretty much seemed to be in order, alphabetical or numerical.
Yeah. So it went all right for me. It was, I don't remember what I got, but it went all right. Compared to the rest of my top of the squad, I think I was down by 1 point on that one in my squad, so I can make that up.
So stage 2 was the PRO 406 barricades. So
That was a fun one.
that was a good one, yeah. So you had 3 shots. The barricades were the letters PRO and numbers 406, and so off of each
Made out of
place
drive
there-
shafts.
What was made out of?
Drive shafts. Drive shafts that were welded together with the U-joint and everything on there. Yeah.
It was pretty neat.
It was cool.
Yeah.
That barricade is not going anywhere.
Nope.
So then you had 6 different targets that you were shooting there. You had to shoot 3 off of the P, 2 off of the R, and then a single shot off of the O. And then you had to move over to the 406 and basically repeat the same shooting pattern, but it just had 3 different targets. So.
And what was confusing to me until someone just said it out loud was you had to do 3 from here, 2 from here, 1 from here, then move over to here, do 3, and then 2, and then 1. And he's like, yeah, it's easy. It's just 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. I'm like, God, I'm trying to write this out on my little dope card to get this thing straight, and he just comes over and says 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1.
Did you ever notice that the placards followed what letter you were shooting off of? I thought that was cool.
Did anybody screw up the O?
Not once we
Because
figured out where the...
remember there was a left
O
and
and a right O.
Yep. There was several people that screwed that up in my squad.
Left and right.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think there was at least 2 that shot
Yeah, I don't
the
think we had
incorrect
any
one.
mistakes
I don't
on
think
that.
so either.
Did anybody shoot 2, 2, then go to 1?
I don't think so. I think everybody was good on
Yeah.
it.
Really? Yeah, we had mental mistakes like crazy throughout the whole match from some of the guys in my squad. It was interesting. Because you think at being in stage 1 or squad 1, there was
There's
just
no
a
mental
lot.
mistakes.
There was a lot of mental errors. So
No,
yeah,
once you
that was
got
interesting.
down which O you had to do at which position, I feel like that stage went well for us as a group overall.
Yeah, our group did really well on that stage.
Yeah, I think I cleaned that one. I got there, and then there was one guy in my squad. Would you do tripod rear? Like, no, I just cleaned it with my gray ops plate, my medium. You know, I think it went well. What do you think? I could put a tripod in there or a fat bag? I'm like, I really don't think so. You know, it was fine. Like, I leaned into that 406, and it went forward on me. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll just pressure off there to just put the rifle on there. It's going to balance. Go.
Yeah, that's all we did.
I don't think anybody used a tripod on ours.
Yeah.
Stage 3 then was called Top Shot, and this was one where you had to go up a platform and shoot the 4 targets with 2 shots each from the top bar of that platform, and then you had 8 shots. You had to go down prone still on top of that platform, but you had to go prone and shoot the 8 targets on that rack. This was the one with the switchy wind.
And 16 rounds.
16 rounds.
16 rounds, yeah.
Yeah. So those 4 targets were on this fence line going down. They didn't really change too much. If I remember right, I dialed down a 10th for every target, basically.
Yeah, they were all really close.
Yeah, really close, but they weren't close into... They were close in range, distance, but they were not close to proximity because you were aiming up left and then your last one was down here.
Correct.
So that wind was kind of weird because I know a couple of guys, I was the last shooter on that one, and like the first guy was like, hey, it was left 2 tenths or left 3 tenths or whatever, and then straight up on this one, and then that one I had to hold to the left 2 tenths for the KOL up front. But then when I went up there the first time, because I was the last shooter and I had to use my mulligan, it was straight up, straight up, straight up all the way down, and then straight up on the KOL, but obviously I had to mulligan it, so it was my first shot on that KOL, the large one, center punched it. I seen the impact. So I'm like, okay, let's go. You know, rock solid, racked into another one, missed. Huh. Go to the next target, because it's hit or miss, move on. Go to that one, miss, miss, miss. I'm like, oh my God, I finally hit one. And then I think it was an accident, it had to have been, because I couldn't hit the bigger ones. And then it was like, holy cow. And it was just right there. It's like, time. And then I sit up, and I'm like, what did I get? They're like an 8, and I'm like, out of 16? This must be so easy. I'm looking at my wind flag, trying to figure life out. It's like, what is going on here? And, God. And then I asked Mark what he'd get. He's like, I got 11. I'm like, whoa. That puts me far behind.
You gotta do it.
I have to do it. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll use my mulligan. So I'm like, all right, who's next? And they're like, you're the last shooter. I'm like, oh shit. So now I gotta go load my mags. I just left my stuff up there, go down there, load up my mags, because it was 16 rounds. And went back up there, and I put my tripod right behind that platform instead of, you know, like off to the side where, you know, you could glass from. I went right behind that platform. And had that wind flag, and I was looking behind me the whole time. They're like, shooter ready, you know, I got all my stuff ready again. And I'm just staring at that wind flag. I'm like, yep. And they're like, time begins, and I was just staring at that wind flag the whole time they were getting their stuff ready. It was like, I need to know that wind. And I went through and ended up, I think I gained 5 points on that one. So
13?
Yeah. So then I was ahead by 2 on Pulver. So that was a well-used mulligan in my opinion. How'd it go for you guys?
8. We were the same thing, left and right, though.
Yeah.
Same thing, left and right wind.
Yeah.
Everybody came off the platform. They're a different wind call.
Yeah.
Every time.
That was tough. Did you get a mulligan, Michael?
Not on that one.
No.
I did get
Did you buy a mulligan?
Yeah, I bought a mulligan.
Okay.
Didn't use it there. I used it here on this next one.
Ah.
Yep, so the next one is making the turn. This one had 5 targets, 2 different positions. The first position you shot 3 targets off of with 9 rounds, and then you had to move to the second position and engage 2 other targets with 4 more rounds for a total of 13 rounds. But this was your long bomb that went out to that 308.
Oh yeah, because I'm over here trying to concentrate on this tower, and you come over and you say you hit that 308, and I'm like thinking of a caliber 308, and I was so confused. And everybody's congratulating you, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, woman? Like, what do you mean you hit 308? Like, what 308 are you talking about?
The distance.
Yeah, I could not figure it out. And yeah, you came over, said your gun is on, it's good, all that stuff, and I was just so confused. I was just in my own world trying to figure out what's going on with this tower thing, and you're like, I hit it. Oh yeah. Just like, what on earth are we talking about here? But yeah, that one, I don't remember much about that one. I remember the 308 because you came over and said you hit it, so then that put pressure on me. I'm like, okay, I gotta
hit it twice out of the 3 times. So
yeah, so then
you had to at least hit it more than me.
Yeah, so then I knew, it was like, oh shit, I gotta hit this then. So I do remember that. How'd you guys do on it?
Not enough. It's easier to say than anything.
Not enough wind?
Not enough impacts.
Oh.
Jeez.
Because this was the first one that it turned from wind being switchy, 5:30,
back
6:30.
to left to right.
Yeah. Because what you have to do, like, I think I was 2 mils on that far plate at 308. So, yeah, then we got into wind. It wasn't like a strong wind like back in South Dakota, but we had wind.
Well, it was 4 to 6, 7 all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a big thing to remember because we were going up and down those hills, and that's where I got pulvered because I don't remember which stage we'll get to it, but on the second mover that we had, he didn't have enough wind because we were down in that bowl. And I'm like, it's still got to be blowing, right? The wind just didn't die.
Blowing up there.
So he did like a 2/10 wind. I did a 1/2 mil because my Kestrel was saying still a 1/2 mil from up on top of the hill. And I even took my little arrow that I made, took that arrow, ran up the hill, stuck it up in the air, and then I got it to flicker. I'm like, okay, we're running with that wind call, and ran back down the hill. But yeah, we'll get to that one later.
Number 5, Stairmaster. Oh, the stairs.
Is that the one that went down?
Yeah. Yep.
So this whole course of fire is wet because of all the rain, and the wood is wet and slick.
Yep.
And you had to run down.
Because all these are 2-minute times, and I only timed out on
10-rounder,
one.
But
Yeah, it was like the first 10-rounder. So those L3I mags that I got on the website for you guys, it's a 14-round mag, and I used it this whole match. It ran flawless, and it was great because I think he was trying to be tricky, you know, with these 13 and 14-round stages, and then that 16-round. For me, I hardly did a mag change. I did a mag change on that 16-rounder, and then we had a 15-rounder maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Those were the only 2 I had to do a mag change on.
Other than that, you ran that same mag the whole time.
Same mag the whole time.
Wow.
No issues.
No issues.
Yeah, so all these 13 rounds is like, okay, put 14 in there, I had that extra round, let's go. It ran great.
But here's everybody else having to change mags
do mag changes and stuff like that, yep. Or Kenny having a 15-round mag, but doesn't push him down far.
My fingers can't get them down there far.
Okay.
The one time he contemplated it, he was like, I've never ran it that way, so I probably shouldn't.
Oh gosh, it's made for it, but won't run it that way. But yeah, this one is, we got up there and everybody was using their mulligans, as according to the ROs. Everybody was using their mulligans because you were shooting off the left post at a target, and then the right post weak side at a target another direction. And then you shot
you had to go down the
stairs, and was it VWX?
Yep.
No one could find.
No one found it?
It was. Is that why it was so many mulligans were getting used on it?
I don't know. That was one. That was one of them ones I actually like.
You were hitting stuff?
Surged ahead on.
Yeah. No.
Or, well, I caught up. That's what I should say.
They were saying like 4 is an average because no one can hit those out there. So I go up there and you had to go on the cattle guard, shoot V with 2 shots strong side, and you could pick any rung. Yep. So I went on the 3rd one down so I could use my knee as rear support, and then shot that one, and I found the wind on my 2nd shot. And I'm like, okay, I'm golden, because these things are like what, 3 to 8 yards apart in distances.
They were just lined right up.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a huge, okay, I found the wind, you know, just add a little bit more. So I was all excited. So I go to rack my next rounds on W, shoot, impact it. And I'm like, yeah. And then the RO said something, but it wasn't impact. I'm like, what did he say? And I'm like, oh shit. I didn't go weak side.
Yep. Oh, you didn't weak side it.
I didn't go weak side. So then I go weak side, and then I'm all flustered. I send it, I miss it, but I seen right where I missed it. It had a little bit too much wind. And then, was it VWX, I impact. And the best thing about that was Mark went before me, and he got a 5 because he got his first 2, second 2, and then he nicked like the last target or something like that. So he got a 5. So after I had a 5 after my first shot down below, I knew I had it because I found that wind on my first target, not the last target. So there, I was feeling strong there. That was good.
You know, by the time we got to that stage and everybody had started using mulligans, they said, remember, W is for weak. You gotta go weak side. So
I was just so excited for that impact on the first target.
Yeah.
On the second round, because then I knew the next 4 shots I had my win call.
Yep.
So you use your mulligan though?
No, I use mine back a stage.
On which one?
at the
Stage
tree
4.
and the rock.
Yeah, the big log, and then you had to transition to the rocks. You had
Oh, we didn't talk about that? Did I
Yeah, we
skip
did.
one?
No,
you
it was
did.
308.
It was a 308.
Oh, that was the 308, the log and the rock. Oh yeah, because that rock you had to go on the hard right side.
Hard right side of the top
Hard
rock.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Because when we were talking about it, now it's coming back to me. When we were talking about it, it was like just bipod here, bipod there, and the RO made very clear that you need to move. You can't stay at the same spot. And I'm like, okay, well, can I bipod it here and bipod it here? He's like, yep, go for it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yep. And then the first guy goes up, and he couldn't see that far right target. So his bipod was hanging off.
Hanging off the edge.
Yeah. So then when I went up, I decided I'll just bag it. They were big enough. So I just bagged the log, bagged the rock, and it was fine.
So then after the stair one, we come to stage 6, which is 5 and dime. It was a 15 round stage. They had 5 different targets, but it also had 5 different positions. So you had that tabletop, and then you have the spool, the one side of the spool, the middle of the spool, the other side of the spool, and then the rooftop.
Yep.
He was pretty generous with target size on that stage.
Yeah.
That one was the one that should have been cleaned, and I think I dropped 1. But it was a very cleanable stage. I think there was one guy that used his mulligan because he forgot to dial or something, another mental error that we had in our squad. He forgot to dial for something or I don't know what, but he ended up using his mulligan because like this stage should be cleanable. It's not like, oh, I got a 5, do I use it, or got a 7, it's, oh gosh, but it was one that should have been clean.
Did he drop 3 on it?
I think he dropped like 4 on it or something like that because I got him all flustered. But yeah, that one was, I think I did fine. I think I dropped 1 on it is all, on the rooftop maybe. Because that one was our furthest distance, wasn't it? Oh, I guess you don't have the distance book, do you?
I don't think I wrote it down.
That's fine.
No, it was like 150 something on the furthest.
Yeah,
target.
so I think I missed my first target, but I think that was one that was skylined. So you could see that bullet just go, whoo, and it was like, oh shoot, move over and sent it. So, yeah. Did you guys bag the whole thing, or did you try to use bipod on that table, or?
We bagged the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah. It was discussed very shortly. Do you bipod the table? Picnic table type of deal, but it was facing the
It was
wrong
low
way.
enough though you could put your bag in and then
Yeah.
use your knee for your support.
Exactly. Yep.
Having a piece of equipment that you needed for one position,
Yep, exactly.
Stage 7 was the other mover, non-trucking.
Yeah.
So you had to go off the top of a roof truck, or the roof of a truck, 8 shots at a mover, 4 on the top and then 4 on the bottom, and then you had to get down off of that and go to this trailer deck and engage a target 4 times and then move to another target and engage it twice. So for a total of 14 rounds.
See, and that's what we were talking about at the beginning. It wasn't your typical shoot 2, shoot 2, shoot 2. You're shooting what, 6 times, then you said 4 times and 2 times?
4, 4, 2, 2 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 4, 4.
Because you were doing 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom on this mover.
Move.
Yep. Move and do another 4.
2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, another 4.
And 2.
And then another 2.
Yeah. So this is where I got pulvered. I think this is what won it for me. Well, he used his mulligan. I don't remember his score, but he had a huge mental error. And he went up to the mover, and like I said earlier, he only had 2 tenths because we were kind of in that bull. So he was really struggling hitting that top one, and then hit the bottom one, I think, 2 or 3 times. And then he moved over to that other target. Oh, it was that diamond on that, like, kind of spinner weighted thing.
Oh, yeah. It was
Like a gravity popper or whatever, yeah.
And miss. And he's like, I forgot to dial. and he didn't even shoot that little alligator at 30-some yards or whatever it was.
Oh, he just went mulligan.
He's like mulligan right away. And I'm like, God, after every shot, you know, he was sending him like, he's got like 3 points right now, and he's just missing. He'll get the alligator.
Right.
I'm like, this is mine to win now. You know, it was just. But then he used his mulligan, and he still had the wrong wind call because he did hit it a couple times. So he ran that same wind call at the mover, and then he was able to get the diamond and the alligator. But
so he did pick up.
He picked up. Oh yeah, it was a well spent. I think like you said, 3 or 4 points on that mulligan, which is a good mulligan. But then I went up there, and all I could think about was Thursday night, honey, when I was stressing out trying to pack and all that. I went and got the mover out and put 50 rounds on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I got this figured out. I know what I need to do, and I did it. I think I missed the mover once or twice out of the 8 shots.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and that was that smaller. Yeah, it was that small one I missed. So I think maybe, once for sure, but maybe twice on that top one. So then right there, I made up the points, and that diamond, my first shot, I nicked the right side. It still went down. It wasn't like nicking it.
It was an impact.
Questionable,
It was an impact.
But I seen exactly where it hit, and I'm like, oh, more wind, and added a 2/10 to get the center of the plate. Boom, boom, boom. And then that alligator just dialed it, and, you know, it was
very long.
Very long.
As long as your elevation was decent on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, it was long.
It was very long.
But did you see when you were shooting that, there was an impact like almost to that thing's head? Someone was like way off. Did you ever see that?
I noticed there was a lot of impacts on the left, you know, on the wider bit, not on the tail.
Yeah, like, no, on the right side was the head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was an impact in the area of the head, so someone...
Yeah, that whole side was pretty gray.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was... I didn't even think twice about that. I just was worried about time because that mover and then those 4 and correcting on the wind and...
Someone in our squad said, you know, he didn't even know what that thing was to begin with until he got up there. He thought it was like a wiener dog or something on that thing. Until he finally looked at it while on the clock while he was shooting and figured out it was an alligator.
Yeah, that's one I felt good.
Stage 8 was called Monster Hustle. This was a 10-round stage, and there was 5 different targets, but you were on this, I guess they call it a monstercade, where it had 10 different positions, and from each you had to move after every single shot, but the target that you impacted it twice before moving on to the next target.
That was tough. That was
a tough one.
That Mark made up 2 points on me on that one because he even said, "You're better than that." He said I looked like a new shooter, just slowly taking my time. I need to go here now. I need to shoot this target, dial. Then you go to this position, you look at it, and then you'd shoot it, then go over to this. He said I just was moving stupid slow. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that because I actually timed out. And then I was dumb because I was hitting all these targets, and then on the last target, target 5, from position 9, for some silly reason, I decided to hold a lot of wind. I don't know why, because it was like the same distance or closer to us than the last target. I don't know why I decided, I think it was like a half mil, I decided to hold on the center of this target, and I seen it clearly go off the left, like, God, I'm an idiot. So then you have to move positions.
You gotta change positions.
Yeah. But then as soon as I pulled my gun out, time, I'm like, huh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So,
move on.
Yeah, there was that. So I got a 7, and I'm like, oh, that's not great. But the RO, you know, before our squad got there, the high score was a 9 or something like that. You know, maybe a 10.
Did they make you do a random order on that one?
He said you could do whatever order you want.
Oh, see, so we came off of that mover, and I knew that I was supposed to be up first to shoot.
Oh, you mean for...
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was weird. Why? They're like, oh, the iPad says this. And I said, you guys here in Montana are weird. We have our order after stage 2. And if it's weird in the iPad, we just tell you, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm going next.
Right.
We know our order. I follow you all day.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah.
They did that to us, what, 2-3 times?
Well,
I think it happened to us a few times.
Yeah.
Mark Flottmeyer got the short end of the stick. He went first 4 times yesterday.
Really?
4 times?
4 times
That's
he
the
went
short
first.
end of the stick.
Yeah. So
That's
and the ROs were not budging. They were like, no, this is the
we
order,
had
this is
stayed
the
in
order.
the same order up until this point. So I knew going into this one that I had to be first, right? So I'm over there
This is
early,
funny.
getting my dough, you know, looking at the thing, trying to figure out how the heck I'm supposed to do this monster cage business. And we get over there, and I'm you know, ready to go, and we're gonna random order this. We're like, what? You're gonna do, okay, random order, I guess. Who's first then? You tell us. Turns out I was still first.
Yeah, Ariona's like, oh, maybe there's a good chance I don't have to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really good chance. There's 10 shooters.
There's 10 shooters.
Yeah.
Okay, so the shooting order is Ariana.
Yeah.
So you got first anyway.
Oh,
Sure did.
yeah, no. Mark he like went last and then he went first.
Okay.
So it like was a double whammy. Like, so he just went
just got done shooting, had to move his
well,
gear.
the stage before that he went first, obviously, because now he was last, and then he gets done over there, and obviously we're over there, you know, getting ready, you know, he's the last shooter,
And now he's
you know,
first, and
and
he
now
don't
he's
have any
first. He's like,
time.
I'm still sweating from the last one.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to get dope quick and get his mags
It's
loaded.
like we were rotating correctly. It's like we were rotating correctly for the first 7 stages.
Yep.
And then we got to this monster thing, and they randomized it, and then all the stages after that we shot in the same exact order.
Yeah.
For the person, whoever was first, that sucks to be you. And I'm sure that's what Mark ran into.
Yeah.
4 times though.
4 times.
Okay, so the next stage is called In the Trees and Through the Woods. It was a 12-round stage. You had 2 different positions. From the first position, which was like a T position, it was built on that.
Oh, this is where you had to run down the path or whatever.
This was
Yeah,
fun.
you had to go down the path.
I like this.
And pre-stage your gun down this path at the first position, and then hit 2 targets, and then you had to go back up the path and down a little, I don't know,
Another
little
Trail.
yeah.
And you
Don't
had
trip
to
over the
go-
culvert.
You had to go to on a second position on this tree-like barricade and shoot from there. So
I liked it.
it was a
That
good
was
one.
fun. How did you position on the bottom tree?
What to?
Because the targets were up at an incline.
So it
from
went
the bottom
1, 2,
row.
3, 4, 5, let's say,
Yeah.
because they were
Yep.
numbered.
Yep.
I went 4 and 5.
That's what we did too. I and J, right?
Yep.
So we went, top one was I and bottom one was J. I
Correct.
think is what we
because
did.
you only could see J.
You could only see it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what I did. The reason I like this one is because you went over there, staged your gun at the T, and then you walked back with your mag in hand, and you had to run.
Yeah, you had to move.
And I like that. So they go say go. The photographer is there, and I'm sure I look great because I was running. I can run 20 yards. I cannot run 50, but I can run 20. So I ran all the way there, grabbed my rifle, and I'm just reciting what's going on in my head of what I need to do and what dope, you know, everything. I'm just saying it out loud, just getting it right. Go to throw my bag on there, grab my gun, throw that on there, and just went to town, just went to work. And then like you said, I grabbed my stuff off that tee after shooting those targets, went over that, did 4 for the eye, and then went down to the one just below because I didn't want to transition. I did look at the bottom left because I could take a knee there. The bottom left for the eye, and then
That would have been a big swing though.
and then
Yeah.
having to get on the other
Right.
one to get J because you could have seen it. But then I was looking at it, I'm like, I could just go boom, boom, not have to move, just grab the rifle, go back down here. So
Did you
that's
do
what I ended up doing.
anything- Did you do anything special with your dope for I and J? Or did you just run whatever the Kestrel said? There was
Yes.
a whole debate of, do we take out a 10th? Do you
Take out a 10th, add a 10th.
Right.
For what?
To account for the grade.
incline.
The incline.
Oh, the incline wasn't large enough to change anything. Wasn't even a conversation in our squad. Who brought that up, Kenny?
Yeah.
you knew. Who brought that up, Kenny?
Who brings
Kenny
that
got
up? We're not shooting in Colorado. Jesus, it's fine.
So yeah, that was another 12-round stage. The stage after that was a 14-round stage called Keep On Rolling. This had a series of 4 tires, 2 that were flat right next to each other, and then one leaned on the one end of it, and the other one was leaning on the opposite side. So you had 3 shots at one target, which happened. I think this one was the spinner.
Yep.
You didn't have to spin it. It's just
I
that's
tried.
what the target
I
was.
tried too.
It didn't
I had
go.
her cranking.
It didn't go for me. I got 1, 2, 3 just right after each other, and
Yeah.
Yep.
they didn't want any business about
Yep,
it.
so you had to hit K off of the one slanted tire, and then you moved to the flat tires, and you had to hit this.
Was that the K
stupidest
This-
target
Yeah.
of the whole match? It was
Littlest
fair,
KYL.
maybe, because the shade was hitting that. I could not see where those were to
Yeah.
save my life.
They
No,
were there.
the
You
one-
knew they were there, but you could not see them. And then
I could
there's
see
a-
the stems. The stems were
Okay.
painted orange. And I'm like, can I shoot the orange stem? He's like, if you want to. I'm like,
The one guy in our squad that
I'm gonna
did
attempt
pretty-
to.
that did
Yeah.
pretty well with it, actually. I asked, what did you do with the rack? Because those are basically invisible targets.
yeah.
And he said, I got on the biggest one, and I impacted that, but then I looked up to see what my reticle was sitting at on the railroad tie. And then used
Oh.
that hold the entire way over. He got quite a few shots on that.
Was that bad?
That was bad.
Dang.
Didn't think about that, did you?
Learned something new now.
Yep. Because we were like, how the heck is he hitting these? None of it. I mean, they were basically invisible.
Yeah, it was great targets, great background, shaded. Oh my gosh, it was.
Little tiny things, and I don't
Yeah, it
know
was a
how far
quarter
away
inch
they were.
at. How far was it?
I can't even remember.
Was
I
it
was gonna say
69?
I was going to say 71 or 2. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So,
was. Oh, God, that was rough. And then Kenny, he said he didn't even shoot him because he couldn't see him.
Couldn't see them.
Right.
So then the last 3 at the far target were at 3 easy gimme points. It was a big target, hold left edge, send it.
Yeah.
It was a big target. Just boom, boom, boom.
I mean, at that point, you're basically.
If you got
just-
to it, you got it, right?
Well, after the first and second person went through on ours, it's like, do you just throw those away? Because they're try to get the first 2, and if you after that, it's pretty much.
Just work your way across it after
Yep.
that.
So you
Yeah.
can get to M.
Yeah.
Still do your 2/10 hold or whatever on
Yeah.
that stem.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get lucky and grab one.
That's what I did.
But
Yep. But no,
I didn't get it.
I thought
I didn't either.
I thought Ben's method was, once he explained it, I was like, hey, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark got a couple on me there because I could not hit the KYL. Couldn't get it. So I think he got 1 or 2 on me on that one.
Okay, so stage 11 was called Rundown. It was a 12-round stage, and from 3 different positions. So on the first position, it was a fence panel, and from that fence panel, you had to engage 2 targets with 2 shots each, and then you had to pick up all your stuff and run down the little pathway and go to the second position, which was a tank trap. And off that tank trap, you had to engage 2 different targets with 2 shots each. And then you had to pick up your stuff again and run a little bit further down the path for your last position, which was a tank trap as well. And you engaged 1 target with 4 rounds for a total of 12 rounds for this stage.
So my squad was getting bored by this time. It's our last stage. So we were like, oh, we haven't used tripod all day. It's our last stage. Let's use tripod rear. I'm like, I don't think we need it. We've already shot off a cattle panel like this before. We don't need it. They're like, let's do it. I'm like, fine, peer pressure, whatever. So first guy goes up, uses tripod rear on the cattle panel, for the 2 targets. Then the next guy goes up, uses tripod. Well, then I'm up, and they did fine, like as expected, hit them, no big deal. And it was sitting there when I went there, and I'm like, whose tripod is this? Oh, it's mine. I'm like, you care if I use it? It's just sitting there extended out, like, all right.
It's there, it's ready.
Yep. And they said, you can run, and Devin was there, and she was as red as her shirt. And she's like, we've been running all day, just following these guys.
Yeah.
And she told us several times, don't look back, we'll keep up. I'm like, all right.
That was because of me. We'll get to that.
I said, all right, let's do this. I'm like, okay. So I go up, use tripod rear, boom, boom, impact, shoot, and then it bladed the other way, and then I missed that shot. I'm like, son of a biscuit, because I knew at this point, if I clean it, I win. I knew that. So when I missed that one shot, I'm like, frick, you know, I need that one shot because Mark has been catching me by 1 point every stage since I had him at further back one. So it was just like, God dang, you know, I needed that impact. So I missed that. And then I ran like beat hell. I left the tripod, grabbed my medium, ran like beat hell, and went to the first tank trap. And as I'm running there, I'm rehearsing in my head, you know, what was it, PQ? Shoot that, run over there, P, boom, boom, Q, boom, boom, or 2 or 3 shots, whatever it was. 2. And then I grabbed my stuff, ran off again, just took off. And the RO, the male, he was kidding around and said, hey, if you get it in 1:30, I'll put it as just 1 minute solid. I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. So that's why I was running BL and get to the next one. And then it was what, Q over there? Yep. And it was that big IPSC and you had to hit it 4 times. Well, it was out there a little ways. So I go to shoot and I was just barely on left edge. Like my dot was on left edge. I send it and I didn't hear anything for just a second, you know? It feels like forever. Yep. And I'm like, I cannot afford another shot, you know? And then it went ding, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait. and I'm like, time! And he's like, oh. And I'm like, what'd I get? And he's like, 137. I'm like, oh, I had you nervous, didn't I? And I'm like, he's like, you were running. And Devin's like, yeah, you flicked mud up in my face. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, that's funny. Gosh, that was good.
Devin turning around telling you don't look back, we'll follow you. Yeah. So I was on the gate 1, 2, 3, 4, and I grabbed my stuff and started scrambling, but I didn't hear them coming. Yeah. So I 180'd around and Devin damn near ran into me. So that's where that came from, because I didn't hear him coming. I was thinking I did something wrong at the gate.
Yeah. Like, oh shoot, they're not here yet type of deal, huh? Gosh.
That's funny.
Do not turn around. We will
so that's where that came from.
Yeah, she mentioned that more than once. And we were right behind you, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, but then Mark went up there, he shot and cleaned it. So then I'm just sweating bullets. But when I got done, he said, congrats, you got it. And I'm like, I don't know yet. And he's like, no, you know. And I'm like, no, I seriously don't. I don't know where you're at. I know I beat you on a couple. You picked up a couple on me. I don't know where we're at, but I know it's close. He's like, yeah, it's close, but you got it. I'm like, no. So he goes up and shoots it, cleans it, and he congratulates me again. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think you're a little early. I trust you. You're not just going to admit defeat, but like, it's close, right? He's like, you want to add him up? I'm like, hell yeah. I do not want to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours for everybody to get up to the clubhouse, add up all the iPads, you know? So we add them up and we're sitting on the ground like a couple school kids in grade school, you know, because we're done, you know, let's cool down. We sit down, I add up mine, I got 119. He adds his up, got a 117, I think. And then I add up mine again, I'm like, okay, I got 119 again. So yeah, it's like, okay, I think I got it. Because everybody else in our squad, they missed a few, so I wasn't too nervous. And there wasn't like a lot of cleans, like, okay, yeah, clean that when I got a 7 or something like that, you know? So it was pretty sure I had it in the bag at that point. And then we get back up to the clubhouse and kind of hang out with everybody and just sit down and relax. You and I just sat in the trailer and just kind of took a breather. That felt really nice there. Yeah, so that felt really good. And then they posted the scores and we were sitting at the table by that time, and yep, I ended up getting it. So because of that, I had the match win, which was, you got it?
Overall?
Yeah, I think so. So I had the overall match win, so that was nice. And then because of that one, and the way they did their trophies, it was like, got the scores up, you guys got 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes, it was like, all right, we're getting into it. And I went to go to the bathroom, and he's like, Jason, get out there. I'm like, well, can I go to the bathroom real quick? He's like, fine, hurry up. And I'm like, what are we in a hurry for? Like, you haven't started all the thank yous and all that other stuff, you know, like, we understand, you know, but it was just like,
they were quick and efficient.
Holy cow.
For sure.
We were still talking, because I get done with the bathroom, I'm like, all right, Shane, I'm back out here. I get done, I sit down, And the overall winner of the match is Chase Snepp. It was like, wham, go. And it was like, oh, okay. And then he went through all that, and no prize table walk or anything like that. It was just boom, boom, boom. All the trophies go out for the match. And then it went to the class winners. So your first, second, third of the
Which class? Open, A, B.
Your pro, your master A, B, C, and stuff like that. So because I won the match and I won 3 other matches at different locations, I won another trophy. So that was pretty sweet. And then, because I won all those matches. And then I also won overall points for the whole season. And that trophy is my favorite. Like, look at all the colors on that, the different textures to it. Oh gosh, that thing is, all the layers to that thing is sweet. So good job to you guys for making that one. That is cool. Yeah, but it is put together, and wife just poked herself with one of the screws. So. But yeah, so that was really fun. See, I can spot them. They're all over, honey.
Ow.
Antelope, sorry guys. But
when they're close to the road, it doesn't count.
So won those 3 trophies. But along with that, hopefully you guys seen the photo on Facebook, South Dakota showed up and we represented. Like, we were at the top of the leaderboards. We took home so many trophies. People were giving us a hard time because, like, our table alone had what, 3, 4, 5, 6,
quite a few. There was a lot.
7, 8, 9.
Whatever's on in the picture.
Yeah, basically. Well, Mark Flatmeyer, he was over there in the corner.
Mark and Darren.
Yeah.
Yep, we didn't.
But it was just, gosh, we had just so many trophies on the table. It felt great. A lot of them from my club, and then all over South Dakota. It was just, it felt good to show up on a 10-hour drive or more for most of us. Show up and represent and just clean house, basically. So
I think South Dakota probably made it in each. If a shooter was there, they made it in one of the top 3 positions.
Yep. Yeah. Except Michael.
Yep.
It's your first real year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was really good, and Matt Boomsma, he won a Kestrel 5700X for being like Sportsman of the Year or something like that.
Yeah.
I voted for him, so
that was.
It's like
there was 2 of them though.
Yeah, the other South Dakota guy got it though.
No, that was Matt.
Who got the?
There was Sportsman of the Year and then Sportsman Runner-Up of the Year. Or something.
I think they do it. Is it always called Kestrel Man or whatever?
Kestrel, yeah, that's what it was.
And then it was Ethan won the Voodoo though.
But I think that was youth.
That was
something youth related.
Gotcha. So again, South Dakota won Sportsman of the Year or whatever, Kestrel of the Year, for just being an all-around great guy, always helping shooters, helping the RO or the match directors and stuff like that. That's why I voted for him, because he helped me get the iPads that we use at my match. Then he taught me how to use the iPads at my match after setting them up a few times, but you know, just in case he couldn't show up, I wanted to know how to do it. Then yeah, he's just super helpful with new shooters, helping with the iPads, everything. So I voted for him and he won that. So that was good. And then we had Ethan won a Voodoo, what was it?
Voodoo and MDT. That was in an MDT chassis.
Was it?
Or an MDT.
That was the other one.
Oh, that was the other one.
That was the Remex one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
That Matt was the runner-up for. That was the MDT ACC Elite.
Yep.
But Ethan won a Voodoo and the Manners and all kinds of stuff there. So great for him. So yeah, it was.
We didn't get to shave his head though.
Yeah,
We didn't.
So yeah, it was a great week and great pro series. Definitely go again. A lot of fun. It was established at the beginning that it was going to be a long match. He said from the beginning we're going to be shooting till like 6 o'clock because of the weather. It was wet, muddy. We didn't get rained on, maybe a little mist in the morning. I did have to clear off my scope after that, but that was the only time.
Pretty much cleared out by
stage 2. Yeah.
Yep.
I think stage 3, I wiped off my scope I grabbed a cleaner from James, and it was clean after that. Stayed clean, so.
Yeah.
But it was good. Really enjoyed it. Like I said, the match was better than going down to Texas for the PRS 22 Championship. Just, I don't know, just the style of match, the size of targets, the difficulty of it was definitely up a notch. Not having your typical troop lines or get on this barricade, shoot that target, and then move, then shoot that same target. You know, it was never like that. Like the 406, Pro 406 one.
Yeah.
That was, you're on a barricade, moving 6 times, but you're shooting
at different distances.
6 different targets.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not your typical thing. So it was great. So those are the things. Shane did an outstanding job. He kind of got this match thrown on him because the match director had a work emergency or something going on. So he had to take this over, and he did an amazing job, I think. It flowed well. It was on time. He warned us. We didn't have target failures other than move around 1, but it failed before we even started, so that was fine. Yeah, I thought it went great. The food was good. He even had something catered to me. You know, I can't have a bunch of stuff, but he accidentally, he didn't know that, but he had one that had double beans and just all meat. No bun, no salad, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew someone would ask, here you go. And it was like, oh, I can finally get a full meal. And then you're over here trying to take care of me. I love you too. And you're like, hey, do you want my meat off my bun? I'm like, no, I'm full. And I'm like, oh, he just gave me all beans, you know. I was
prior to that.
Yeah, I was good to go. So, yeah, I thought it went well. What do you guys think of the match?
It was good. I think, like you said, it was kind of that next notch up. You know, it's not just a bunch of 10-round stages. Lots of mag changes that maybe a lot of people don't practice because it's kind of the odd thing to do. But
I didn't do mag changes.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match.
Me too.
No, it was good. It was a great match. Loved it. Felt comfortable on every position. Just have some other things in my area I got to work on. But the match itself, no complaints, none whatsoever. That was pretty neat. You usually see a target failure somewhere.
Yeah.
Like the South Dakota Championships and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of target failures there.
Not one.
And all these targets were provided by Atlas Target Works from Watertown, South Dakota. That's where I get my steel also. Yeah, and he was there shooting it too, but he didn't do as well. But yeah, that had to feel good for him too, because all that steel was his, and it didn't look like he brought all the steel for the match. No, it's been there for a while, so that's gotta feel good going to a Pro Series match or, you know, a championship match, having all your targets and
not a failure.
Not a failure.
Not one.
Yep. So, yeah, great match. Thought it was a lot of fun. And I brought home some hardware, so. And it looks really nice. So my wife said I could actually put it up in the house. So that's a benefit. There's some that she's like, no, that can go somewhere else. So it doesn't match the decor.
Like your plastic snowman?
Yeah.
Unless it's Christmas time or something.
She doesn't like that one. I think it looks cool.
It doesn't sit on the shelf real nice.
Oh yeah, it's not square on the ledge.
Unless it's Christmas decorations or something.
Christmas decorations.
I don't know. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys. We had a great time. I definitely suggest if you have the Pro Series around your area for the 22 shooting, not the centerfire stuff. Well, that stuff's fun too, but this is the Pro Series for Rimfire, Precision Rifle Outlaws Pro. Definitely go to it. Get yourself to the championship. Get yourself to the championship. It is a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. Great course fire. Don't know where it's going to be next year. Don't know who the match director is going to be. Hopefully closer to us.
Hopefully.
But yeah, great time. Please like, comment, share, all that stuff. Helps the algorithms. So we appreciate it. Thanks. See you at the range.